Bienvenido al episodio de esta semana del podcast de Reppin The Stateline con John, George y Josh.
All right, we are recording and we will get ready. I'll do a marker.
That's John's line.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, everyone. Reppin The Stateline. Hey, I'm introducing us for once. Reppin The Stateline with John, George, and Josh. And we have a special guest with us in the hot pink over there. This white wine?
It's a rosé.
Rosé
all day.
Rosé all day, baby.
All right, ready?
Guys, welcome back. We are back.
We are back. Reppin The Stateline season 3. Episode 1, our premiere episode. It feels like I haven't seen you guys in forever.
Really, we just saw each other like last week.
I know, I was in your office like an hour ago. I haven't seen you guys in forever.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. Oh yeah, I was in Florida, so
George was vacationing again.
we both were vacationing.
As you guys can see, we do have some guests here today with us to kick off our episode 1 of the new season, the end of Women's History Month. And I want to thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us. Thank you. We're back for the revival.
The revival.
It's gonna be your highest rated podcast yet.
I think, honestly believe so.
I think it will too.
Okay, for those that are listening right now, I have not introduced our guests. We have our Winnebago County Coroner, Jennifer Muraski.
Hello.
For Jennifer.
Jen's just fine.
Okay, I know you Jen for years. I didn't know.
Just
All
fine.
right. And on the other side of it here, we have one of our best news anchors, top in the state line, Whitney Martin.
No, the
Oh my God. Like to the other news people in town, all right?
no. We're great to have.
The MC for our state line chamber gala. That happened during our break.
Yeah, my wife gave my wife the rose.
Yes, that was
The
awesome.
final rose.
The final rose.
It's like the Bachelor that time. It was amazing.
She did.
I was there that night, you know, in a small world. That was fun.
We were all there.
Really good event. We were all there.
We were all there. Yes.
So we've been gone now. I think our last episode aired on January 27th, right before New Year's. So what have you guys been up to since then?
Well, Mr. 30 hit his 30.
I did. I hit my 30. We had my wife and mother through this massive bus trip, bar
Oh,
crawl.
that's awesome.
All of my friends were on it. We went to the Mississippi and back.
Your mother was the same age as me?
Yeah, my mother was the same as me.
Awesome.
Actually, yeah, she is. So yeah, a massive bar crawl. It started at noon. We got back to town at 8:00 at night. I don't remember anything much past 4:30,
But you remember the first stop.
but I do remember the first stop. I get off the bus. I'm the last person off the bus, and who do you know? Mr. JB, John Broad is standing right there.
Some guy walks up to their bus. Now we're at the Crooked Roof in Lanark,
Lanark.
Illinois. And I mean, if you've not been to Lanark, the Crooked Roof, you need to make the drive and get the pizza. Is the pizza not the best?
The pizza
Did I
was
lie?
awesome.
Did I lie about that?
But here's one case. Here's another one though. There's a bar in Lauren, Illinois. You know where Lauren, Illinois is?
I have not
No.
been.
Neither do I. It's called the Slurpin' Burp. It's literally a gravel road. There's a farm, there's the bar, a farm across it, a farm next to it, a farm next to it, and a farm behind it. And that's it. And it's
Those
called
were the best.
the Slurpin' Burp.
And you guys went there for
And you went there too?
We did.
Now, being the old guy in the group, I couldn't do an 8-hour drinking excursion with Josh, so my wife and I,
You're only 49.
my wife and I drove there and went to Lanark. We got there before everybody. We were running about a half hour late. So your bus must have been rowdy as hell because we passed the bus. We were driving to Lanark and we passed the Bears bus. And I'm like, and I told Nick,
So it's a 25 minutes
those
bus.
guys on that bus. We were at a tailgate
Yeah.
with them back in.
So our buddies, there's 25 of them. They own this Bears bus, and they all have season tickets, and they go to every single Bears game.
And they drive.
And they drive the bus in, and they do this massive tailgate afterwards, before and after. But they converted it, so it's an old coach bus, and they have like it's like tables, so it's like 2 seats, and then there's a gap, and then 2 seats, and there's tables and
Tables and couches
and they have like
TVs everywhere.
tables that go across it that they throw dice and play
Okay.
card games.
Yeah.
That's why I said, we need a bus, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, we had that, and then I took our family to Florida. Kids went. We saw the mouse a couple days. Was on the beach a couple days, so it was fun. That's what I've been doing since.
Gave a grand old speech at the back in February. I did my best. I do not.
I did half of his speech for part of it.
Yes, you did. I do not like some things. I think I hate people that read off of a prompter or speech when it comes to. For a
Sip it,
George.
sip it, George.
For a speech, I hate when people read off the prompter for a speech because I feel like it's like I could have just read it. I want to hear from the heart, like what's coming out of your mouth. Like if you can't talk about a topic for an extended period of time out of your heart, that means you're really not. That's just not what I would. So when it comes to speeches, especially in about like a gala, I winged it. And there was one part that I kind of stuttered a little bit, but it's okay.
You did great.
You did a good job.
You did do a great job, and as everybody knows, George is the president of the State Law Chamber of Commerce, so he's been doing a great job serving our community up north.
And then we went to I had a job change. I worked for Churchill Mortgage now. No longer with my own lending. So Churchill Mortgage, we moved as an entire branch over. It officially started on March 13th. March 13th. March 13th. And I christened my new job by going on vacation. Early.
For you guys that don't know, George goes on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
More like 1 month.
Well, one vacation a month.
So keep rolling those mortgages in, Jody.
Yeah.
More vacations.
George's my lenders, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow. Well,
Hey, I have a really good realtor if you need me.
Yeah.
I sit right here.
who is it? So seriously though, like you guys, these vacations, like I'm the only guy to stay in town and work.
No, I
So
stayed in
I
town.
will say
You stay in town and work,
I will say one thing that is exciting. I went on a 4-night cruise, Disney cruise, their second Disney cruise, and it was even better than the first. I think it's a myth that people say Disney cruises are more expensive. It's really not. If you actually add up the cruise up front and then the little bit that you pay for the nickel and dime, it comes out to pretty much every other cruise line. Just other cruise lines, you pay less up front, but then they nickel and dime you more. But in the end, I think it's well balanced. I love that the kids club takes the kids away. You love it so much that we booked a 7-night for next time. And this one is going to be special. It's our family, my brother-in-law's family, and all sets of grandparents.
Oh,
And
fun.
I literally spent the last 5 hours booking it. So
That'll be a great memory.
So while the rest of us were doing show prep, George is looking at other groups.
Oh, actually working?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing something?
So, Whitney, Jen, did you guys have anything amazing happen since Christmas to today? What'd you guys do?
Oh, it's a blur for both of us right now. It's just busy.
Why don't you start a new job?
I did. I actually was sworn in December 1st.
Yeah.
So, yes,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Very exciting.
thank you. I
And
love it.
you, best ever corner would make.
Thank you.
Or at least one that's not like in the newspapers for bad things.
It's true. This is true too. I mean, but anyways. How about you, Whitney?
I know, I was just, you put it in the butt, I can't think of anything too exciting. Just lots of work right now, I feel like, you know, the books and cruises, I think.
Yeah.
That's it. Well,
Welcome,
George is an
Whitney.
expert.
Yeah.
You should start a travel agency on the side.
You should. I mean, you do enough bookings, you should probably do
I
that.
look for pretty much everybody in my media can extend it.
So we all use an app called Notion to help with like show prep and all. George put us on this. And George shared his Notion with me and like, he's got travel itineraries. Like, I mean, George is a data guy. I'm just like, if you don't know, like, this is another reason to work with this guy, because he's like all data driven. And I'm looking at this going, You have every restaurant you've ever visited on every trip you've done for the last 10 years. With pictures of the menu.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm still trying to like, get my basic business profile going. Like,
I don't even have one
stuff.
going.
And then it's automatic.
Do you plan everybody else's day?
Yeah.
That goes on vacation with you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm never going on vacation.
But-
Never.
No.
He plans it to the second.
No. I have, so in Ocean they have these planning boards, and you kind of can shift stuff around. It's just very basic, like, all right, this day we're doing this excursion, we're gonna go here for dinner. This day, it's not timed or anything, it's just like, we wanna accomplish these things on these days, and it goes in chronological order. It's pretty nice.
Brilliant.
But yes, I'm an organization.
George, if you could schedule,
Ernie, the mortgage,
if you could schedule your poops in the morning, you would.
that's.
Okay, with that, let's give a great, I don't want to do the segue to that, like, you just ruined the segue, because I wanted to give a shout out to where we are located today.
Okay, go.
You know, there
You got it.
you just
Yes.
food. That's not a good.
Well, that's George.
No, I want
Good
to thank the Ernie's Midtown Pub for allowing us to do this roundtable today in their establishment, because this is like a gem, a hidden jewel of Rockford. I've not had a bad meal here.
No,
Jen, you're here all the time.
and their drinks are phenomenal.
Yes, they are, like everybody who knows me knows, I have mine in here. Their old fashioned is amazing, but I did try Manhattan earlier, which is better.
Equally amazing or better, yeah.
I would think better, but if you try more than 2 of those, me and Uber.
Yeah.
So, but yes, thank you to Ernie's, and that's our sponsor for this episode.
Yeah.
So come on down, they're on 5th and 7th. Right there's the old Sheehan's. There's still the Sheehan's mural on the wall. When you're driving down 7th Street, see it? So stop in, get great food.
Great food.
Right in the heart of our town too.
Yep.
Just, I love the feeling. It is very much. Possible. I think it's the best way to describe it. All right, so let's kick off some icebreakers.
Oh,
We got some fun icebreakers.
we do.
Oh my goodness.
We've actually, I'm gonna say this real quick, is I think this is the one episode that we've actually put the most
Show
prep into this show. Cause we didn't want it, I'm not gonna say fail, but like, we wanted to go as smooth as possible. So we've been actually planning this episode since we ended
Yeah.
last season.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No, I don't feel any at all.
No. And the whole key to repping the state line is we want to represent the bulk of the state line. Who better to represent? I mean, you cover the entire county of Winnebago County now. You're like probably everywhere.
Every day.
I mean, every day. I mean, if these are not like some of the most influential people in our community,
Influential
who are? Influential women in our community, who are?
Yep, I agree.
So, I'm very thankful you both were able to take a little time out and just spend with us today. Who wants to go first with the icebreaker questions?
All right, peanut or plain M&Ms?
Peanut,
Peanut.
yeah.
Peanut?
Plain,
Peanut.
plain,
Plain.
plain,
You got sandwich.
plain.
Boring.
My wife loves peanut M&Ms. Me, I'm good.
Crispy or just?
No.
Or like caramel ones are fine.
No, I like
See, I'm like, I didn't have those flavors growing up, you know, it was peanuts or plain.
I didn't know there were caramel M&Ms.
They're awesome.
There's a million types.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
I live under a rock.
Alright. Cold on 173 or East State?
I'm the biggest cold shopper that I can tell you all the discounts.
Cold cash queen.
You know, clearance is really kind of both. I'm gonna say 173.
I'm gonna say 173 as well.
I'm staying.
I'm 173.
I always start on 173, and
Yeah.
if I can't find my size, I run down the state.
Oh, there you go. You gotta both. Those 40%.
Oh, John's favorite question.
Oh, my favorite, I'm gonna ask you, Shogun or JFK Deposit?
JMK.
Yes, JFK. That's two.
I don't know. Equal. I'm equal.
Celebrity in town can't pick one.
Shit, I'll take.
Shogun.
Wait.
I'm
Mr. Shogun.
all Shogun, and I'll tell you right now, no. George tells me during our break,
Shut.
No,
No.
Shut.
we're sitting there, And George tells me, he's like, oh, it was for George's birthday party. He wanted to go to Shogun instead of the surprise party. Almost ruined the whole surprise party. His wife flew for him because he was like, I want to go back to Shogun because I really want that spicy tuna roll. So there you go. I'm just saying. Off the chain. And we were just Shogun last week.
The sushi I like at Shogun, but I like the dinner at JFK.
I have my favorite sushi roll in the world. Anywhere I've ever been is at JFK. I have not topped it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm in JFK. It's for
I'm all Shogun all the time.
all right, back to me. Packers or Bears?
Bears.
Boom.
I'm a Cowboys fan, but I appreciate the Bears.
Yes, Bears. We know you're a Bear fan. We have photos of you in a Bears.
You do have photos of my Bears sweater, but I am a Jets
Yes.
fan. I grew up in New York City. I went to Jets. I told you before you left for your vacation that you're like, Aaron Rodgers is the Jet. I'm like, it's not done yet. We're still waiting.
Yeah, we're still.
I mean, we're still waiting for 3 weeks.
Come on, Aaron.
3 weeks. Aaron still hasn't like pushed this through. So I'm just a lifelong fan of disappointment. So I go with the Bears on
Nice.
Oh no. Yeah.
More praise, you know?
Yeah. You're from the water.
They want a great job. Yeah.
All right. Bloody Marys or mimosas?
Oh, it depends on the time of day.
Wait, what? They're both morning. They're both
Oh, no.
cocktails.
No,
Oh.
that's not true.
We know what somebody says would be immediate,
Oh, right.
but
A mutual friend of ours would say mimosas all day.
Yeah, I'm a Bloody Mary person.
I haven't had either. Never. No.
I'm loving most.
Well, you're gonna have to check out brunch at the Stone Eagle one Sunday. They have a great Bloody Mary bar and bottomless mimosas.
Yes, they do. I can't decide.
That's not what we.
Well,
We'll go out together. You can
I will
get
tell
that.
I will say Bloody Mary. And I will tell you right now, 2 weeks ago, my wife and I went to Boundaries, which is up 51 between Beloit and Janesville. And amazing loaded Bloody Mary. There was a prime rib slider on this thing.
Oh, my goodness.
There was a homemade like sausage stick inside of it. There was like cheese, mushroom, cheese
Do
curd.
you like it spicy?
It was
Oh.
spicy. And
Yeah.
there was a pickle in there.
Spicy.
This was a beautiful pregame. They gave me the shots from Wisconsin to get the shot of beer, backer, and then I had the most amazing breakfast burrito that went with it.
Yeah.
And I was still like, and my wife had like this big old burger, and she had some wine, and I looked at the bill, I was like, "It's how much? That's it? Are you sure?" So Boundaries in Wisconsin, check it out.
All right.
John, next question. 2 more.
Oh, next question. iPhone or Android?
iPhone 100.
iPhone.
100%.
Agreed.
All right, we're all part of the and we're an iPhone cult here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5-0 play.
5 out of 5 influences in Rockford.
Yeah.
iPhone is better.
My iPhone is blowing up. By the way.
I know. Well, we're not live, so I don't know. Your campaign manager's like, no, what are you doing?
Morning or night person? Last one.
Oh, night for sure.
Night.
I'm morning.
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 My wife's a super morning person and I'm not, and it drives her
I can be
nuts.
Yeah, my husband's a morning person and drives him nuts.
By like 9:30, 10 o'clock, it's got the uncontrollable yawn. I'm going to bed. I'll see you in like 6 hours. And I don't,
I have too much FOMO. I feel like I'm gonna miss out on
Yeah.
something if I go to bed too late.
stopped the phone on 20 years.
I'm pretty old for FOMO.
John just puts this one I do not disturb at 7. That's why I just sleep at 8.
8 o'clock.
I guess
8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. My phone's on do not disturb. Sorry. I need some time.
Yeah.
Some of us don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're on call.
You're on call. Yeah, you have to be.
You're on call too sometimes, right?
Yes, but you know, by the time it's 7.
Right. 7 p.m. is bedtime.
I don't know if I could
We
do
are
that.
great.
I could.
How long have you been doing the morning?
Probably 5 years.
Wasn't it
5 years.
crazy
Yeah.
adjustment?
Oh, yeah, it's really.
Okay, what do you do on the weekends? Just
I
go to bed?
I mean, I think I can. Don't get out much.
That's.
You must have been dying after the gala, huh?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I was about to 30 minutes on the air next morning.
That's not kidding. I saw some figure skating.
Oh.
Figure skating videos that were pretty amazing.
Well, was that the gala? I don't think, but it was funny though, because I was sitting there talking with Whitney and like, just like right before that, I saw on my Facebook, memories.
Yeah.
My daughter, when she was like 5 years old, was on the news with Whitney for like gymnastics day, like National Gymnastics Day. And you gave the kids spot,
Right.
like worked out with all the kids,
Yeah.
did all that stuff. And now she's 17,
I know.
now she's driving, she's graduating, it's like crazy.
It makes me feel very old. They're truly like ours now.
Oh my-
In nursing school and everything else. How did that happen? Yeah,
Oh, my youngest is 8. My oldest is 13.
crazy.
I always
It's like-
excited.
We got 10 years.
You're married.
My oldest is 29, and then I have a 24, then I have a 14.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Josh has old babies.
I do.
Little babies.
8, 2, and 1.
Oh, and.
And I'm the same age as his mom.
Yeah, but your oldest is 1 year younger than me, so it's not like it's any different.
Josh's mom is awesome and you're awesome. so
Oh, thank you.
You two should hang out.
Thank you.
We were joking about that at Josh's birthday. Josh's mom was like, I'm a catch. You gotta help me find some guys like my age group. And I'm
We really got to talk about this on the podcast?
we are, yes.
Come on, man.
And she's
All right.
I told my
You're
wife,
48,
I told
you
my
have a
wife,
great job,
you gotta
you're
step it up.
single, eligible, give her.
So,
Good guy. She does. She's a great woman.
Christy's amazing.
She is a great grandmother. She works a lot. She has a good paying job. She doesn't need financial stability. She just wants someone to hang out with and enjoy
And
company.
the woman loves to golf, so. if
She likes to golf. She likes to drink. She likes to go
She
on
likes to have-
trips.
Yeah, go on trips,
She had when she was 18.
like everybody.
And
out
so
there.
she like had to raise me growing up, and now she's in her late 40s, just living her life,
Yeah.
like doing whatever she wants.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the best time of life. My kids are all pretty much grown. And I'm out all the time now.
I know my youngest I'll be 46 when she's 18, so we're
Yeah.
living life,
Yeah.
baby.
All right, let's get on to.
We got
You only have 3 questions that we decided to work with?
we did.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just-
we did.
I'm just making sure I didn't get
The
edited.
main cut for today's episode. So recapping, this is Women's History Month, and we felt that it was very important for us to get some of the most influential women in the state of the community to share their experience and how they got to live. So, John, you want to kick off with the first question?
Sure, I'm gonna ask both you guys. Sorry, I'm gonna choke up with this one. Can you share with us a defining moment in your career and how it shaped you as the leader you are today?
This is a personal one for me. So I've been a funeral director for, almost 28 years now in the state line. And, that's how I started my career in the funeral industry. And during that time, I was married and my husband was diagnosed with cancer. And, but I was in the industry, right? So I'd been a funeral director. I had been working with families, making arrangements. But here I was at 32 years old. Well, when he was diagnosed, I was 29. I had been in the business for about 9 years at that point. Thought I knew how to work with grieving families and, and then here I am 3 years later at 32 and my husband passes away from cancer. We have, young children and, it changed me in the way that I worked with families from that moment on, because I realized that like I had all this information. We as people in the funeral industry had all of this information because we had gone to school, we do it every day, and we are trying to walk these families through this many times in 3 days, tell the story of somebody's life and help them prepare for that and give them all the options. And I had that information already when I lost my husband. So I had this funeral that when you walked in the door, if you didn't know my husband, when you walked in, you knew him when you walked out. And so that's changed me and how I worked with families and the information that I gave them and moving forward, it just, it meant more to me, you know, moving forward with grieving families. So that was definitely a pivotal point in my career.
I can really relate to that. Some of the stuff I've gone through, when you go through grief and you kind of know what they're going through, the different approach is different.
Absolutely.
And I think that's gonna help me with my mentoring of the kids I do.
Yeah.
So it's cool to hear two
Thanks.
totally different things, but can really relate at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a big thing too, when you kind of working with me. More than anything, you know, with when I first went in, I was like, I'm gonna do radio, that's what I want to do. I ended up switching over to TV and I learned so much. I started at 20 years old and there's so much when you grow within, you know, everything you're out all the time, you're pulling shooting stories. There's one though, that stood out to me. I remember I was at a guest bartending thing and all of a sudden we heard the sirens going off, this was kind of crazy, and I rushed back, they're sending me out to go to a tornado, cover everything they just destroyed in Fairdale. And so I rushed home and I'm grabbing all my stuff, grabbing my camera, my gear, all their station codes and out the door, and I grabbed this makeup bag and I stopped for a second and I thought, why do I need a makeup bag? I'm about to go to Fairdale. These people lost their stuff. People, are really, from the entire situation. I needed to have a makeup bag to go and tell the stories about these people. And I remember that specific moment for me where I felt like, I don't need this. This isn't important, but people think it is in TV and kind of relaxed and they care about it, left and grab, and you're out breaking there within 15 hours, working around their day and night, and you're covering that. So I think that was a big moment for me. There was another time where it was covering a story about people who were homeless, and there was a man who I said was involved in the follow him. He was breaking into abandoned buildings at night, and that's where he would sleep. And so part of the story that I was covering was just talking about his survival and the things that he had to do about the good glimpse of his life. And I remember at one point when we were shooting and I was talking to him, it's time for us to go, and he shut the door and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now." And he shut the door, whatever, we were home. And I realized in that moment, I'm in this warm, safe bed at home. I know that this man is sleeping in a building, freezing inside of this building right now. And in our job, it's important to create a solution. But from then on out, we started doing more with the homeless, offering solutions and things that can help them. I remember those two specific things. It's a long story, right?
No,
Yeah. But I remember that because it just changes the way you think about things and you cover things.
Well, no, at any time we can relate to somebody in a different way.
Right.
That just makes us that much better. Each of our chosen careers, our chosen craft.
Yeah.
And how we serve other people. So that's amazing. Thank you.
And I think that's what it is for it all. Once you realize it's about people and the impact, and it changes no matter what profession you're in. That's just anything that you're doing. Agreed.
I just put people on homes. I got no, that's amazing. Great. Josh.
All right. How do you approach decision making in your role, and what factors do you consider most important?
Really tough. Yes.
This is tough. Boy, I think first and foremost, I want to know. I got to think through how it's going to impact the coroner's office in my role right now. How it's going to impact in the future and what the ripple effects is going to be in the future. And I tend to think long and hard on things right now because it's a big job, it's a big role that I've got, and so I don't jump to anything right away, but I always like to get input from those that are going to be affected by my decision making. So whether it's a staff, whether it's my family, wherever it is, I like to include and have input because it's not just going to affect me, it's going to affect those around me.
That right there is why she's the best corner. But you don't just jump to conclusions, you don't make rash decisions.
Thank you.
And little known fact, the coroner in Winnebago County is the only person that can arrest the Winnebago County Sheriff.
The coroner, anywhere, is the only one that can arrest the sheriff. Yes, correct.
Which I find that like hilarious, and I never knew that until this last election cycle, so that's.
Lord, I hope we don't have to.
I don't think you would, you're a pretty good sheriff. in
Yes,
town.
we do. Yes, we do.
And I'm not just saying like I know. Please don't pull me over.
And for you?
Yes, I'll ask the question again.
Partner.
So how do you approach decision making in your role, and what factors do you consider the most important?
So for us with decision making, a lot of people, you really see it on TV and don't realize that all of the work that is behind the scenes, by the time that we get on TV, it's the last thing that we're thinking about. It's the last part of our job. And so anything that we're doing, it's the same thing. It's always about the impact of whatever we're covering. People will ask us all the time, how do you guys decide where stories go in the newscast? And the answer to that is the impact. So the more people were impacted by something, usually the higher it goes. That's why you'll see weather. Weather affects everybody, so it's usually at the top of the newscast. The school district is our largest employer, and so all of our kids go there. So we have children, and that usually if there's something cool, that plays a little higher too. So I do think it really is, and that's how I make any decision. The impact on people and where I feel like it should go, the rundown or newscast.
That's really cool. I never knew that. That makes sense.
And
Absolutely.
different reporters and anchors with different philosophies on where things should go. And for us in the morning, that is the first decision. We always go off of new, now, next. So what's happening, what's new, what's happening next, what's happening right now. That's how I try to think of what I want to put in the notes. They don't want to waste people's time.
Sure.
I know it's like now and the preschooler at home is insane when I have to get it ready. It's the worst thing. And I'm turning on the TV because one more thing is I don't want to waste people's time. It's really.
All right, I get the best question.
Of course you do.
That's right.
And this one, I want to preface this with, we each have daughters. This is a very important question for each of us.
I have 2 daughters. You have.
I have 2 daughters.
I only got one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a girl dad. That's all I got. I really am. And so this is a very, looking back on your career so far, what lessons have you learned and would like to pass on to future generations of women leaders?
I think it's follow your gut. If you have a passion or an interest, even an interest, whenever you feel it, whether it's you're 7, you're 12, you're 14, you're gravitating towards something, I say follow it and look into it and ask questions and be bold enough to follow your dreams or your wants or whatever, because I will tell you, if you're a working person in the working world, to love what you do and to love going to work every day, it makes a huge difference. And so I would, when I first started in the funeral business almost 28 years ago, there were not a lot of women in the funeral business. It was a very male dominated industry. And so I would stand at the front door of the funeral home and opening it up for people during a visitation. And I can't tell you how many times I would hear, I'm so glad XYZ funeral home hired a door holder. Because I was like the door attendant. I was young and I was female and I would get so frustrated. The clergy would come in and they wouldn't talk to me about the details of the service. They would go straight to one of the other funeral directors, and I just want to bang my head up against the wall.
Yeah.
Like, I went to school. I'm here for a reason. But I think there's so many places in this world for strong, competent women. And I think we should all know one, and we should all be one, and we should all raise them that way. Sure.
For you, I'll repeat the question.
One quick thing after that too, it's funny that you say that. I remember when I moved to Milwaukee, I shoot all the video by myself. So we all shoot our own video. So you're setting up your camera, you've done all that. And I went to a store in Milwaukee and I was standing in the lobby and it was like 10 minutes. And I looked at the person and I'm like, wait, that's someone? And he looked back at me and goes, yeah, you're a cameraman. And I'm like, no, I am my cameraman. I'm like, this is what you're getting is all the cameraman coming.
Yeah.
It's funny how much people overlooked it. And also, it's interesting to see that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, piece of advice about.
Looking back on your career so
Yeah.
far, what lessons have you learned that you'd like to pass on to future generations of women?
I'm very vocal. I've always been very vocal about things, but I would say the biggest thing is advocate for yourself. Set your boundaries early. There are so many things that when I started my career, I was like, I'll do it. You know, anything that you need me, I'll go out. I had a fire pager with me in the middle of the night and keep on my pillow. I, go out and shoot things. There were many situations I look back on now that I would have never put myself in now in hindsight. It was crime scenes that I was on, way after too late. I was out there by myself. I was saying, so setting your boundaries early, I was willing to do everything, but at what cost? Just being careful with that. And then speaking up for yourself always, letting them know if you deserve a raise, go in there and say, I deserve a raise, explain why. Because, the biggest thing, there are so many people who don't speak up for themselves in situations. Know your worth, go into your boss or go into whoever it is and explain what your worth is and, or tell them what you deserve. And I think that's the biggest thing,
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
you just said that.
And if I could piggyback on that a little bit, in my experience, learning how to advocate for myself helped me advocate for other people.
Yeah.
It really, it taught me I have enough strength to advocate for me. I'm going to advocate for you too, for those that may need that. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I will say my daughter, she's 17 now, and COVID was a rough year.
Yeah.
And working from home was rough on her. We had to go to Summit Academy, which is amazing for kids that needed extra help. She graduated early.
Oh.
And her when she was a little kid, she loved gymnastics. She is now a USAG certified coach.
Sure.
Working this weekend at state.
Awesome.
Because that's chasing her dreams, like you guys said, and advocating for yourself, and she knew what she wants. Is college in the future? I don't know yet. But she's coaching kids who she loves. She just had an interview to help one of her teen parents a couple of days ago to get there. And she negotiated her own wages for that and left us alone. And she's purchasing her first car this week. So I'm very proud of this young lady.
Yeah,
That's great.
Josh started working on some insurance for me.
Facts.
I agree with you on the passion side of it. I love what we do, and it makes such a difference in what we're doing because, we're passionate about going into work every day. We care about the community, we care about what we're doing. And I think the moment that you lose that is when you should stop doing what you're whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Because there's, it's really long time to build up for and you still care the same amount when you first started, if not more. And so I just think that that's so important. You don't feel passionate about any job that you end up taking to get out of that. We spend a lot of time there.
Yep.
And as we do others, so we gotta talk about our state line area and those things out with what's happening. We had a nice 8-week gap, so you guys probably didn't attend anything great. We were sorry.
Nothing that was going on in the state.
What's going on? We're back, and we are going to kick it off strong. So this is first weekend of April. Starting to see some decent weather. I mean, we had snow down there.
Red Barn Golf Course opens up Saturday morning.
Red Barn Golf Course. There you go.
Atwood's already open. What's the
Swan
other
Hills is open.
Swan Hills is open. And what's the other one in Roscoe? Legend opens on Saturday as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have your favorite hockey players playing.
Guns and Hoses.
Yeah.
This is
Guns N'
Sunday.
Roses.
Guns
Sun-
and Hoses.
That's a big game.
Sunday at noon.
Sunday noon. That's what police versus firefighters.
That's the
Sunday.
demo.
And then right after that is your favorite.
Nice Hogs. The piggies. The piggies are playing.
The Biggies are playing. And then we've got, I found a cool one, Cars and Call. I never heard of this one.
Oh, it's across the street, right?
Yeah.
Big stuff right down.
And it's on this first one's on April 7th. So come check that out. It's pretty cool. It's car show.
That's a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
There's so many people who are willing to get out here with cars and then donuts and Coffee, that's a good one, yeah.
And Katie's Cup is a great spot, to grab a cup of coffee in town, they have a meeting room downstairs, you can rent out, it's just a great, like, again, this whole Midtown District.
Does not get enough credit.
No,
It doesn't, no, it
And
doesn't.
when I moved here 20 years ago, you drove through here very fast. And now it's like, now you wanna stop, you wanna like, go to Katie's Cup, you wanna come to Ernie's and get a meal, you wanna, there's a lot of different little restaurants and cafes and everything opening up all right around here, it's just.
It's a great spot. It is. And it's a hidden gem, especially Ernie, so we really thank them.
Do you remember how we found this place?
No,
Back in February, they posted we're doing soup flights.
oh yeah, soup
And I am
flights.
the king of soup. Oh, we're gonna open up a restaurant called Coops. Scoops.
Scoops or soups?
Scoops.
Soup. Oh, Scoops,
No.
and scoops.
Scoop, yeah. So it's gonna be an ice cream in the summer
Summer
and soup in the winter.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
So, yes,
So yes, we saw they were doing soup flights, and it was the first restaurant bar in the area that's doing soup flights.
and then we came
So
here
we
for
had
Rockford Restaurant Week,
Yep.
and we brought like 10 people with us that day, and it was just. an
And we've
amazing
been
meal.
here like every other week since.
Yeah.
And if you like Rubens,
Yeah.
this is the place to come.
National hot chicken.
Sure, yeah.
I like the hot chicken, the Reuben I had last time I was here, it's amazing.
I will say, their spicy food is no joke. It is spicy.
It's not that spicy.
Okay.
It's kind of spicy.
So they have a salad here, like a Southwest salad, and George is eating it and he's sweating. He goes, "This salad dressing is spicy."
I could not believe
And John goes, "Let me try."
No.
No,
I'm like,
no,
you don't
not-
have to try my
not-
chicken, that's really spicy.
it was.
But there's, I think the crucial thing to get on the menu that no one gets, it's overlooked, the loaded tops
Loaded top.
as your side.
So, a couple of other things going on, but it's not this weekend, it's coming up, right? So the end of April, I'm gonna quote this every week. State Line Chamber of Commerce, the ambassadors, we're doing what's called the Purse Project. And we're asking people to donate slightly used or new purses to either Leah Evers, Edgar Jones office in Roscoe, First Community Credit Union in Roscoe, or Mike Frank State Farm in Roscoe. And we're gonna collect donations on the 17th of April, and then on the 26th of April, we are gonna have a networking event for business people, and it's open to anybody who wants to come at 3 o'clock, the rooftop at the Hotel Goodwin. But we're gonna pack those purses with items that are donated as well, like toiletries and gift cards and other items, lipstick and cosmetics.
Nice.
And then we're gonna donate all of them to Family Services in Southern Wisconsin, Northern Illinois. So children who are in shelter right now with their parents, with their mothers, can pick something for mom for Mother's Day.
Oh,
So we're getting this all put together by the end of the month, having it donated first week in May. And then we partnered with them, Family Services, to help distribute these purses. So please help us out with a good cause. It was my big mission this year as the chair of the ambassadors for the State Line, something that impacted our local community in a big way. And this is what we came up with as a committee of the whole. And I love my ambassadors. I love everybody's working. I got 5 large black bags of purses in my car right now.
all right.
So I mean, we're collecting, we're going. And then in September 21st, since it is the end of Women's History Month, it's getting loud here. It's the end of Women's History Month, the Influential Women in Business Luncheon at the what center is that called? The Clip Center in Beloit, hosted this year by the State Line Chamber of Commerce in conjunction with the Beloit Chamber of Commerce. That's gonna be on the 21st of September. Go to statelinechamber.com to find out more information and purchase your tickets. We have a great keynote this year. I don't have all the information in front of me. It's months out of the way, but I'm just throwing it out there. You want to throw it out there for Women's History Month. So we do this in September, not March.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys for giving up time in the middle of your day. I know Whitney, she's sleeping right now. You're on the air for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And Jen, pulling away from your busy duties to be here today. Thank you again.
And we really appreciate it. Really moving and touching stories. This is my favorite part of our podcast, and when we get these sincere, this really good stories and heartfelt things that we can share with people listening, just to know how you get boring people don't become people. So you guys are really active, really interesting. I love the stories, everything, and then really blessed and honored to have you guys.
Thank you, yeah.
All right, and now remember one last thing, because I'm gonna do this with George, it's mad if I don't. Oh, yeah. Do the podcasting things, do the YouTube things. If you're listening to us on a podcast, like, share, and subscribe. If you're listening on YouTube, hit the like button, share with your friends, and always follow us on Reppin The Stateline on Facebook.
Did you say podcasting things?
Podcasting things, YouTube.
Oh, and check out our TikTok.
And check out our
Yeah,
TikTok. Josh is our TikTok expert, and you get behind the scenes and bonus footage on TikTok. So there you go. I got nothing else for you guys. I'm gonna have a cocktail.
See you guys next
See
week.
you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.